Alright, cheesy blasters. You take a hot dog, stuff it with some jack cheese, fold it in a pizza. You got cheesy blasters. And then all the kids say, thanks, Meat Cat. And then Meat Cat flies away on his, skateboard.
I can't eat this.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week you might be wondering, is this the new kitchen? No, it's not. It is my alma mater high school's learning kitchen, where they've been kind enough to let me come back and experiment on their students with cheesy blaster. It's a recipe that involves jack cheese, hot dogs, and of course, pizza. So we're going to start by oven baking our frozen pizza. I'm going with frozen supermarket bought ingredients here because I imagine this is what Liz is talking about. One of those frozen snacks that are part of the ongoing public effort to make children less healthy. So we're going to do as the song says. We're going to take some hot dogs, stuff them with some jack cheese, and then fold them in a pizza. I later found it more effective to butterfly the hot dog entirely and place the cheese into its gaping maw, covering for maximum meltage. I'm also doing a backup pizza here. That first pizza was a little overdone for my taste, but it'll do for a practice round. I'm going to start by trying to make a sort of individual cheesy blaster, that is, cutting a strip out of my pizza, placing a single hot dog in the center, and rolling to completion. Let's take a look at the cross section here. Nothing really to write home about, but we have to do it according to the Binging with Babish bylaws, and be careful with your first bite. It's going to remind you just how hot cheese is physically capable of becoming, and also maybe opt for some regular hot dogs because these natural casing joints were just making it too difficult to eat. So let's try again, this time with an, I think, more appropriate pepperoni pizza and 2 cheese-stuffed hot dogs, the entire thing rolled into one horrific package. Not only will this be more impressive to your dinner guests, but also it's going to make, I think, for a better cross-section. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, now that's a cheesy blaster. Now, if you're 30 years old like me and you don't want to die in 3 years, you gotta invite the culinary club at your high school, the Tang Gang. Come on in here, guys. These kids were kind enough to invite me to their school, and now they get to eat this thing. Have at it, guys. I'm gonna go have some kale or something. Ah, look at these animals go. Disgusting. Breathtaking. Alright, thanks guys. Now let's take a break from corrupting America's youth and try making a Babish version of the cheesy blaster, which I think can only take the form of a calzone. What I've got here is a pretty simple pizza dough. If you want to see how to make pizza dough, go check out the video in the upper right hand corner now. And since this recipe is good for about 4 small pies, I'm going to take a quarter of the dough and turn it out onto a lightly floured work surface, stretching and rolling if necessary into maybe a 14-inch round. Standing in for hot dogs, I've got some spicy Italian sausage here, and I've got 3 different kinds of salami. I figure that's good enough for Meat Cat, and standing in for jack cheese is some low moisture mozzarella. Now let's start by saucing the inside of our calzone. Normally I wouldn't do this, I would serve sauce on the side, but we gotta try and be slightly true to form here. Top it with some mozzarella, some of our chopped salamis, followed by a bit of our Italian sausage, and how about some ricotta, since the original cheesy blaster also had 2 different kinds of cheese. We're gonna fold this guy up just like a big old calzone, using a sort of empanada folding method around the edge to crimp it closed. We're then going to use a serrated knife to cut 3 steam vents in the top. If you don't, this thing's gonna pop in the oven. And normally we use a brush to brush the whole thing down with egg yolk, but they don't have any, so I'll be sending them one in the mail. About 20 minutes later in a totally maxed out oven, and we've got ourselves a lovely looking calzone. Let this guy rest for like 10 minutes before cutting into it, otherwise you might burn your little fingers, ow, and dig in, making sure to document a hearty cheese stretch. This is, after all, a cheesy blaster. And, of course, here to help me induct it into the Clean Plate Club is the Tang Gang. Thank you guys for having me back to your school, and please make healthier life choices than I do.